Hello. Trying to go live again. Trying to be consistent. So we'll see. People I know are like off in going to, I don't know, Christmas stuff. I'm thinking. Is everybody doing holiday stuff, I should say? Hi. Hi, Anna. It doesn't let me pin my own comment anymore. Hi, Ayana. How are you? What's going on? We'll see what happens tonight. Decide to come on. I'm coming. I probably obviously won't come on next week because it will be Christmas. But I'm going to try and come on a few times this week here and maybe TikTok. I don't know. But I think people are going. What are you doing? Are you going out of town for the holidays? What's your plan? I think more people are going out of town. Look, I wanted to wear this. It's kind of like spiderweb queen. I don't know. What is this? What is this giving? Goth queen? Not really. A little bit of a underworld goddess. Staying home this year. Okay, good. Same. Well, I do every year. Night for Christmas vibes. Thank you. It's cute. Thank you. Nightmare Before Christmas vibes I will take. Do you see these earrings? Do you guys remember me posting about these earrings? It was in the movie. I hunted. Someone helped me find who the designer was. Hi, Dale. Have you been? Hi, Isabel. How are you? And it was in that movie with oh my God, I always confuse it. How have you been, Isabel? What's the movie? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But Jonah Hill. It was with Jonah Hill, and he was supposed to be. It was kind of like a Guess Who's Coming to Dinner in Reverse type of movie, and it was pretty bad. It was okay. It was okay. But the main character, she had these earrings on, and they were the big kind. Actually, I still want to get them. The very big ones, and I got the small version. And I hunted down the designer. Actually, someone like helped me hunt her down. Anyway, so just saying hi to everybody. Hi, Insight Inspires. Hello, which is Anahit. Hello, Elena. Aliana? Ayana. Sorry. I need glasses really bad, everyone. If you heard my latest podcast, you might have heard me talk about this coffee shop that's optometrist / coffee shop that I'm really intrigued to maybe go to and get some glasses from. Because heaven knows I need them bad. Hi, Tisha. Interesting. Yeah, it was really interesting. My latest episode, I talk about it on my podcast. I had Marcy Giroux from A Funny Feeling. Hi. Sorry, I'm having dinner while watching, so I might not be chatting too much. Okay, Annie. Wait a minute. Are you having dinner with other people? Hello. Hi, reading. Hello, the reading writing puppet. Yeah, so we're doing some readings in here. The past few times I came on here, people weren't getting very many readings. They were just kind of chatting, but was coming on here to do a few readings, do a little chat. I have so many things going on, even though this is around Christmas. I decided to do, I haven't really advertised it much, but I want to do a live podcast. Um, we're online, so I'm planning on that for my 50th episode. And two people, okay, I got you. Two people send in their emails. I got you, Lorena. Send in your emails. I love your crown. Thank you. Thank you very much. Two people send in your emails for this particular podcast, and I'll pick two emails and we'll do it live where I'll read the emails, do the sound effects, and then talk to the person. And then I'll be giving away two of my readings, do a raffle, one for an hour, one for a half hour, and we'll just have fun. And I'm just going to wing it. I don't really know what I'm doing with this live podcast, but I'm going to, it'll be fine. I'm going to figure it out. I got you, Lorena. And I have that going on, and that won't be till the 3rd. So you can check. All these things are on my website, but on my Instagram. And I had Marcy Giroux from A Funny Feeling. Some of you know that podcast and you know her, right? She was on this latest episode, and I'm doing an online seance for aliens. By the way, did anyone see that did you see that the new movie with Adam Sandler where it's called Spaceman, and he goes to another planet and he gets advice from an alien? It's coming out in, I think, not till March. But should be interesting. I'll definitely be able to talk about it. And yes, I did a review of a coffee shop slash optometrist. It was very confusing because all the drinks had these weird names. But I talk about it in my podcast, my latest episode that came out yesterday. So go check it out. I released it early. I released this podcast early. So I'll post some more. What's going on with everybody else? What is everybody else doing for the holidays? I have Lorena will be my first reading. Lorena, you can go ahead and pop in your question and get this party going. But what is everybody doing for the holidays? What holiday are you doing? Um, are you going to be, oh, also for Patreon people, I did post something for you. First of all, I posted a hefty percentage off my readings. You can go get the code on my Patreon. And for everyone else, I still did a hefty code percentage, 40% off my readings. Um, but um, but more importantly, I did these videos that I think will help you with the holidays. Um, yeah, I already asked, but would it be in my best interest, high or good, to leave this man I'm with? You have to remind me, you asked about this already. It's not higher good. I want people to understand that if you think it's higher good, then you're implying that the future's been already written, meaning like it's not like one is bad or good. It's more about where you're at and what's helping you in this present moment, meaning like you have complete, it's not that simple. It's not about higher good or not higher good. It's about what's happening right here and right now. So it's more about if this is something, you have to look at the whole picture. You know what I mean? I have to look at this person, you, and all of that. I did. You told me I wasn't ready to leave, but it'd be better for me to leave even if I'm ready or not. Um, it's not about if I can just tell you what I see is going on with you and what's going on with him and what's going on with the two of you. In the end of the day, you have to decide. Um, I can't tell you what to do. So let me take a look. I can only tell you what I see. Let me get my little magic wand out for you. Okay, let me take a look at him. I feel like the problem is that he has a kind of a hold on you because he doesn't want to let you go. Like it's not so much you can't let him go, but he can't let you go. Like you guys kind of it feels a little bit like an unhealthy connection, and I feel like what you're reading it as that the connection is really strong between the two of you because it is. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of romance, there's a lot of good things going on. However, the problem is it's almost like you need each other. So at this point, it feels more like codependency, where he really needs you and you like being needed. It's more about like, people can be in all kinds of relationships as long as nobody's physically harming, emotionally abusing or anybody, things like that. But at the end of the day, people kind of like to be in the kind of relationships they like to be in. And I feel like you guys like that kind of relationship where you're really leaning on each other, like you can't like do life without each other. Um, so it doesn't feel like two people trying to help each other be healthy. Does that make sense? So when I say that you're not ready to leave him, you don't want to leave him. You have to want to leave somebody. You can't just say, "Okay, I can see that I do. Sorry if we break up. What would he do without me?" But I feel like there's already been too much hurt and disrespect. Yeah, at some point you can't like keep worrying about that part. You have to do what is in your best interest. You can't be wondering what he's going to do without you. That's the unhealthy part. Because then and everybody, you might have this experience in life where you almost like someone needing you. There's a difference between someone wanting you and someone needing you. Hi, Victoria. And I think that it's just not about, you can't wonder what he's going to do. He's a grown person. He can figure out what he's going to do. But you have to take ooh, preach. You have to take responsibility for the fact that I feel like you like him being dependent on you. Boundaries are important. Yeah. I feel like you kind of like it because sometimes when someone's dependent on you, then you know they're not going anywhere. You see what I'm saying? Hmm. Then you know they aren't going anywhere. Hi, Gnome Runner. Hi, Zachary. So I feel that what's happening is you're growing very dependent, or growing him dependent on you for sure. I don't think it's about him needing me because I don't think he does. I just feel like who else is going to put up with this crap? That's the same thing. It's the same thing, honey. That's you in a way. He needs you. He needs somebody he can dump his shit onto, or you know put whatever bad mood he's in on. Like somebody who will put up with something is somebody who you are providing a need. So I would say is that you need to stop wondering what he's going to do. By the way, this is what women do the most. You have to stop wondering what he's going to do, and you need to start wondering what you want. You got to stop focusing on him. That's not your problem. You don't owe him your thing. You have to focus on what I'm trying to say to you. And this is more of a sight thing because this could sound like advice because I know some people are chiming in with advice, but I can tell you by sight that he is not as loyal to you as you are to him, Isabel. I don't see that. So you need to start asking, what do you want for yourself? Not what is he doing? Because I don't see him having that same loyalty. He is using what you're giving him and feeding off of it. Okay. Oh, yeah, I know there's already been instances with other women. Yeah. And it will continue to be that way. That's what I'm trying to say. He has no intention on stopping that. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. I'm kind of known. I have a reputation for telling it like it is. People either like it or they don't, and I'm going to be honest. Thanks, Adela. Just needed confirmation. Good. I'm glad that helped. So I'm doing readings. I just did Lorena, um, and a little bit of chat. Not a ton of not a ton of chat like last time, but a little bit. I have I've been having full days. How's everybody doing? Everybody, um, I was trying to say, is anybody here, Victoria? Was anybody here in my other classes? I did a class on alchemy and manifesting and how you alchemize manifesting. And I was, nobody was in the class but me. Or was it the my last psychic development class, maybe? I was like, I was just, I think that was it. I hope you find us safe and genuine if you choose to leave, Isabel. Well, I think that what's more important is that she finds a connection with herself. I haven't taken a class yet. Oh, you haven't taken a class yet. I think it's the Psychic Development 101 class that there was nobody there because I wasn't sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. And remember, Isabel, what's important is that you um really focus on yourself and not worry about finding someone at this point. Not at this point. Yep, I definitely need to work on my self-esteem. It's definitely gotten worse in the relationship. Right. I'm thinking about taking a class, but if it's hard to decide because they all sound so cool. I'm thinking of what class I want to do next because I'm doing alien seance and then um I'm also doing um a live podcast that I'm going to do. And I'm doing a class right now, the alchemy class. So I'm just kind of waiting for the holidays to settle out and then decide the next class. I really want to do a remote viewing class. I really want to bring remote viewing back because it's one of my favorite things to do. I just don't know if the demand is there, but I really would love to bring the remote viewing class back. Anyway, right now, that would be cool. Yeah, remote viewing it's the easiest thing to teach. She repeats her classes, so if you miss one, you can catch it the next time which one calls to you the most. Is anyone able to do remote viewing? Me? You mean, oh, is any Dayla? Yes, it's the easiest thing to teach is remote viewing. Mhm. I could remote if you don't want a reading, I can do a remote viewing, remote view you right now. But yeah, but I think it's actually the easiest thing to teach. Uh, so that's why I like it because it's not like emotional, has nothing to do with emotions. Remote viewing is pretty much what Stranger Things is based off of because it was a CIA program that they were studying psychics, studying remote viewing, and it's what Stranger Things is based off of, if that makes sense. And and of course it's exaggerated in the show. Like she's like walking around in water and it's very exaggerated because as it's not exactly like how they show it in the show, but it's similar. I use remote viewing in my readings on a daily basis, all day, every day. And it's the easiest thing to teach, which is what I try to tell people. Like, if you want to take a class, it's going to come easy peasy. Remote viewing is, people really, really surprise themselves in that class that they can do it. And that's my favorite thing is that it's people seeing people's reaction. Anyway, I'm just chit chatting. Is any, the list is open if you'd like to get a reading. Otherwise, we're doing a little chit chat, chatty chat chat. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my answer to remote viewing. I hope that made sense. Oh, and I Victoria, I got your southern sayings and I'll read them on my next podcast. That will be an awesome little segment that I'll do. So thanks for sending those in, Victoria. Victoria. Mhm. Yes, my mom helped me with them. Oh, she did? That's so awesome. That makes it even more fun. That's really cool. It reminds me of, like, I'm a huge fan of The Office, and in The Office, he's like, "I took a Dayla's remote viewing class before I remember I saw a smiling dog, but I didn't move, which confused me, but it turned out to be my partner had a stuffed toy and not a real one." She's from Alabama. I don't wait, I don't understand. I remember I saw a smiling dog, but it didn't move, which confused me, but it turned out your partner. What do you mean? I don't understand. Because if you were doing a remote viewing, you would know what your partner had. I don't understand. A little confused. You remember? No, I don't. I don't remember. You guys, I can't remember all these things. Yeah, you're gonna have to like completely refresh me. You have to remember I like tomorrow I'm doing 6 readings in a day, in one day, and then I teach and I do this and I do that. And so you'd have to remind me. She's from Alabama. Yeah, it reminds me of the show The Office, and they have a boss that comes in, and she's Southern, and she keeps saying all these Southern sayings. So he keeps making up Southern sayings. Michael, the character, keeps making up Southern sayings to sound like her. But yeah, no, I don't remember Anna Heat. I don't. I really don't. Um, but yeah, 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 yeah. So, anyway, this is like really quiet tonight. Is everyone doing all of their Christmas stuff and getting ready for the holidays? And who's pooped out a little bit from holiday cheer? I went last night to my favorite thing, which is like a light botanical show. Yeah, you remember how you made us have partners and we remote viewed them or were there? Yeah, I do. Of course, I remember that. So I saw into her home and I saw a smiling dog that wouldn't move. My partner confirmed she had a toy. Oh, your partner. I was thinking your partner, like romantic partner. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. How do you pay for readings? You could just go to Venmo, Cash App. It's my in the description. I think is that you? Or PayPal, and you can put something in there. Um, Irene is getting a medium reading. In the class, you tell the students to remote view into a certain place, like a store or something. No, we practice with each other because there's no point in people. I got you. Hold on. I got you, Irene. I'm not going to have people remote view something that you can't confirm. So what we do is we partner up. I wish I had a romantic partner. Sorry. That's why I was like, hi, your partner. Oh my God, Adela. Um, yeah, we get partners, we partner up with each other in the class and we practice remote viewing. Um, with each other because if you don't do it with someone who can confirm, I'm not going to have you just go do to some store that it just I don't know if what you're seeing there's no way to confirm it. You know what I mean? So we partner up with each other and people remote view each other and people just really surprise themselves at how well they do. Um I'm still pooped from last year's holiday cheer. Oh, I've got a yawn. That's so funny. You're so poo from what were you doing last year? Okay. You guys must go hard for holidays. I went to the botanical gardens last night, a light show. I'm going to post some stuff from it. Ah, I love it so much. I love it so much. He's like Buddy the elf. Um, I got you, Daniela. Buddy the Elf. What is Buddy the Elf do? I've only seen that. I haven't watched that movie very many times. Does he go hard or something? Buddy the Elf? I don't quite remember that. Does he go hard on like partying or something? Yes. Oh, okay. I do love that movie though. It was an awesome movie, but I only watched it once. Bob Newhart who plays his father is Bob Newhart, one of my ultimate favorite comedians, and I'm sure all comedians love him. I met him because I used to do a celebrity party where she would hire me to read all of these old Hollywood comedians and I love Bob Newhart since I was a kid. It was my kind of humor even as a kid. We used to watch the Bob Newhart show. So I would read like nonstop at this party and I met quite a bit of old Hollywood people, which is amazing, and read for them. I didn't read for him. However, I went over to him and asked him for a picture. I'll post it. I'll post it on my Instagram when we hang up here. And I was like, "Can I please just get a picture with Bob Newhart?" And he took a picture with me, and it was so awesome and he's an icon. I love Bob Newhart. Like that the way he would do comedy where he's like just by his face and yeah, he's just great. All right, Irene is getting a medium reading as we're talking about this. I met people from this old show. For you young people, Bob Newhart is a comedian from the 70s on down, and he was an accountant who was funny, and he went into comedy late, and he had a show called The Bob Newhart Show. He also had another show, I forget the name of it, but it was a spinoff, and it had the best ending ever. His second show had the best ending of a show that has ever, I think, been written. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. But I forget the name of it. Okay. Irene's getting a medium reading. Who would you like me to connect you to, Irene? Who would you like me to connect you to, Irene? So in a medium reading, you're just going to tell me who would you want me to connect you to. Um, just by letting me know your relationship to that person. So if it's a relative, you would say like my grandmother, my mother's side, or a best friend, and I will connect you with that person. A intuitive reading, when it's your turn, just tell me what question just ask me what question you have. This is Irene, my grandmother on my father's side. Okay. Yeah, that's my Bob Newhart story. I have a story for so many celebrities. All right, hold on. Grandmother on my father's side. Grandmother on my father's side. So the first thing I hear is somebody saying, "Oh, like she's very like, oh, honey, don't worry, everything's okay." She's talking about that her passing, she was completely prepared for it. She didn't feel blindsided by it at all. She felt like she was bracing for it. She has a very good attitude, even though it was extremely difficult. She says that I feel like what she's showing me is like not being able to access her body, like my body's all frozen up. I can't move it. I can't access it. She said it was the worst. She felt trapped in her body. She felt trapped. She keeps saying like remember um something about the month of November. Remember the month of November. That's how she's repeating it. She's also showing me like the ocean and dolphins and talking about how much she had dreamed of or enjoyed the ocean trip before she died. Um, and she's saying that oh, so can go ahead and talk to me and let me know if what I'm saying makes sense. I tried to pin it. If someone can pin it, I pinned the prices. So she didn't recover from surgery. She passed quickly. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's why she felt trapped in her body. Can somebody help me out and answer for me? I appreciate it. Um, I think that's why she was telling me she was trapped in her body. She's saying she was trapped in her body because probably because of that. And she's saying that she f- she felt like she was getting like pulled back, almost like she was getting pulled, um you know how like you're kind of in between the worlds and you're going back and forth. She said she felt like she was pulled back. That's what she keeps saying. Did they try to save her? Thank you, Insight and Isabel, and you can let them know where they can do that. I'd appreciate it. I don't know why it won't let me pin my comments. I used to be able to do that. Um, did they, like, try to pull her back? Like, did they try to assess her? Like, did they try to bring her back, you know what I mean? Like, into because that she keeps saying they pulled me back. Yes, they tried to hold on to her. That makes sense. We had some tension between us. Okay. So she's saying that she's so happy that to be free. She wanted to be like a bird. She keeps talking about November. Does that make any sense? And she's saying the number 15 or the 15th because she keeps saying the 15th. I don't think it's the same month, but she keeps repeating that. She's saying that, the family didn't really understand that somebody doesn't want to be trapped in their body. Someone doesn't want to feel trapped. She didn't want to feel trapped. She just keeps repeating that. She says, "Thank you so much." Let's hear what song. I'm curious because I keep hearing her talk about wanting to be free, that she wanted to be free. So I'm curious of what song she would pick. Oh wait, I have it in the wrong spot. Sorry. I was listening to it. I was listening to November doesn't stick out, but I'll give it a thought. I'm glad she's free. Okay. Huh. I'm going to ask her more about November. Hold on. Ready? Here we go. Believe is the song she's picking. You may call it in this evening when you've only lost the night. Preset all your pretty feelings. May they comfort you. I'll tell you what the chorus is. I don't know if I believe. I don't know if I believe everything you're trying to say to me. So I feel like this song, by the way, is about, she wasn't sure, like, she keeps talking about she didn't know what was waiting for her on the other side, that maybe they're like she was raised religious or something. But she's like, open up your eyes. But she says that it's very different than what she was taught. It was almost like she was taught very strict religion, and that she has now found her freedom. Yeah, because she says there's nothing but love and beauty, and that she's so glad that she was able to let go. And she says November has to do with a wedding, something to do with a wedding. She keeps saying a wedding and November. I love that she picked the song. I don't know if I believe everything you're trying to say to me. So open up my eyes and tell me I'm alive. This is never going to go away. If I'm going to have to guess what's on your mind. This is called Believe by Mumford and Sons. Sorry, this sounds so bad. This is so good to know. Thank you. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just had like this such a strong feeling of like she's free. Like it was so important for her to be free because she didn't feel like she was a lot in her life. She wasn't free to be herself. So she's definitely encouraging you to be different. Yeah. So I don't know if that made sense. Hi, Joe Candles. Hello, hello, hello. Um, yeah, she talked about November. I don't know. I hope that makes sense to you. Let me tell you something. Daniela, go ahead and put your question in. It's like hard to explain, everyone, but this other perfect appreciate this. You welcome. It's hard to explain to everyone, but if you could understand that this other realm is just, it's a whole different feeling where we come from and where we return. It's a feeling of utter like free and just like this place where you're not bound. And it feels like, what she was talking about particularly is that she was bound to a certain life and a certain way she had to live, that she didn't have the freedom of choice to do it the way she wanted. So she so wants you to, Tisha. Weird questions. When we die, can we do nothing on the other side and just play with all our pets all day? I think people don't understand there's not a day, there's not a night, there's no time. There's zero time. This isn't about doing anything. I think you don't know the concept of being free of this world of limited of time and space, and being free of the fact that there isn't anything there's not a do or not do. When you are just able to be free of all the worry and the pain, you still have to grow, you still have to evolve. And pets don't really, there is no pets because we don't own anything. Animals are their own entity. They do their own thing. They have complete autonomy. They are not tied to anyone, and they're not they're animals, but they are not pets of anyone. They're like, it's kind of like calling a human your pet. We treat them as like ownership, and in that realm they are just on the same level if not more than us. So they're doing their own thing. they're doing We have animals because we depend on them, we lean on them, we pull energy from them. We are the needy ones. They don't have any need for us. They are gifting us their energy. They we've created a world where we have to help them navigate through it. But if we all, as you all saw during the pandemic, if we all disappeared, animals figure it out and they're just fine. So I think people got to realize there's no doing or not doing. Um, we have things that we have to do here because we're surviving the elements. We're trying to survive this world. We're trying to survive the wall, the weather and all the things this world brings us. But when you're in a realm where you get to just evolve and grow and expand and you're not surviving, you don't have to go like, well, what do I have to do today? You're there to grow and evolve. And animals that coexist and we don't own them. They're not needing to be played with. um, Animals are free. We are very, very needy on animals. They're happy to gift their energy for so long, and they're like, then I'm done. And then you need to, live your life. So, animals that we project pretty much all of our needs onto animals. So in the other realm, they coexist as free. Okay, so Daniela, I hope that made sense. Daniela, believe me, I'm very aware. Like I lost a pet. I don't call her a pet because I don't call my animals pet. I lost my friend, Sheba, and I talked to her all the time and said, listen, I know I've leaned on you. I know that you've given a certain part of yourself. And when you're done and you're ready to be done with it, tell me because I'll understand. And then there was a time where I said, I don't think I'm ready to let you do that. So can you hold on a little bit longer? Meaning, like, I recognized that I was leaning on her. How do you grow and evolve in the other realm? Are there examples you can think of? Um, how do you grow? You have to face yourself. You have to face what people say all the time to me is you have to face your life here and the choices you made and the person you were being. You have to face yourself and you choose to learn about yourself and about others and how they saw you and how they felt and how you affected things, good or bad, positive or negative, and you learn from it and you grow. And then you also can you look at it just like children. When you don't understand kindergarten, you will not understand fifth grade before you have to go through kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, right? So you have to learn things before you can understand certain things. It's not a hierarchy, but you're not going to understand how certain things work until you go through learning about it. um how can I become in tune with my guides? I'm a practitioner but feel stagnant when it comes to connecting. Guess I need a little guidance. I don't really see guides the way most people do. Guides are not individual beings. I think what you're not doing is getting connected to the collective whole. um Guides is not what people think. So we don't have people or beings following us around and trying to talk to us. I think people use the spiritual world in that realm a little bit. It turns into a lot of self-centered about us. So it's a collective whole. So it's kind of like the internet. So you tune in to Google and you if you type something in Google, you can get an answer. But if I want to know what Bob thinks, Bob so and so, then I have to type their name. So guides pull away. It's a collective whole, and then they pull away and they show a version of themselves they think will be appealing to you that you would understand. So the imagery you're seeing, whatever you think you're seeing, is something they've made up to appease you. to help you feel more comfortable. Kind of like how we teach children with puppets or something. We use these things to help kids understand things. Daniela, so that's what you might want to be doing is getting more tuned in to the collective whole and allowing yourself to plug into that realm. I feel like if you don't, right, you might be feeling stagnant because you're feeling like you have to listen to a particular person or persons or whatever or beings to tell you, and maybe have more faith in your knowingness, your own knowingness. Like you have a knowingness um that you are not trusting. Don't keep looking for guides to tell you what to do or not to do, or if you're picking up the right thing. So, if you're a practitioner, I don't know what kind of practitioner is, but if you're a reader, if that's what you mean, or if you're doing kind of craft work, you have to at some point just completely lean on your own inner self. You don't, what happens when you do evolve and go? It's a constant thing, Isabel. It's not like you learn lessons and that's it. Just like here, right? You learning all the time, it's the same there. There is no plateau. You learn and you keep learning and you keep growing and you keep learning and you keep growing. It doesn't like have a plateau, just like here. Just like here, nobody should think they're never learning, right? Once you stop learning, then you stop growing. But does that make sense, Danielle? I feel like you're just actually not having a lot of faith in yourself. So don't worry about the guides and what they're saying to you. Maybe trust your own inner voice because that's what they're really usually trying to help you do. And if you're stopping trusting that, you are going to feel disconnected and stagnant. Do you see what I mean? Everybody's quiet again, but that's okay. um, yeah, I mostly folk magic, but when it comes to connecting the spirit realm, I feel stuck. I mean, the spirit realm is not always something for everyone can connect to be honest. To be just really, really frank, don't worry about that. The spirit realm doesn't need to be something you have to connect to. If you're connecting to folk magic, then you should follow that. And yes, most definitely makes sense. Um, Go into magic. Not everybody who does psychic stuff can do mediumship, who can talk to spirits. I knew great, great witches who were wonderful and absolutely had nothing to do with spirit work. I knew people who were practitioners who had beautiful things they did, and spirit work was just not something for them. And same vice versa. You know what I mean? Like everybody doesn't have to do everything. If you do, if you like the folk stuff, then work with the land, work with the energies in the land, because that sounds like more what you're connected to. Don't worry about that other realm. It just may not be for you. Are people who have near death experiences more connected to the other side, or people surrounded by death? Um, are people surrounded by death? What do you mean? Are people surrounded by death? What does that mean? People who have near death experiences, sometimes, not always, honestly. A lot of people with near death experiences, maybe they go through an experience and then they have something happen, but um, not always. I mean, some people just get very changed. Most people have near death experience, come out of it completely changed and awakened to the fact that there is something beyond here. Would people who face a lot of death in their own life be more connected to their side? Not necessarily. Nope, not at all. I know a lot of people like doctors or, you know, That doesn't necessarily mean that. Some people are it just it's that's a very broad question because some people could just be dealing with the physical medical version of death. But anyway, I was kind of reading Daniela, and I just want to make sure that she understood because I was doing readings, so I want to make sure Daniela was getting her answers for her reading that she paid for, that she donated for. I wanted to make sure she was good. Um, so I hope that helped, Daniela. Speaking of near-death experience, would you say the light at the end of the tunnel is a lot? No, not at all. And I just if you want to know about that, I did a whole podcast where I had somebody on there who had the most real near-death experience. And if you go check that out on the House Medium, Bill Letson is someone who had to me, the most real death experience. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. The light is really just is the light bulb going on and you actually being able to through see that other realm that you were not being able to see before because you were closed, you couldn't see it here. So it's really not, it's not like that. It just, yeah. No, it doesn't really work that way. People always describe it. You die and you're there. And that's why he had the most real description of it of anybody ever heard. Because when I heard him, I was like, this is real. And that's exactly how I described it. Just like he peeled off his body and he was somewhere else. It's not that complicated. It's not all that big of a deal. It's like, boom, you're dead, you're there. So I have a lot of stuff on that. But again, I just want to check in with Daniela and make sure. I'm a clairaudient, tend to hear things when doing readings and in other situations. Sometimes it's not so clear. So I was unsure how to make it clear. It's just practice, practice, practice. I can't express to you more that practicing is the best way to do it. I think people think that you know you have something and therefore it's just on. That is completely wrong. You have to practice, practice. It takes years, days, hours, years, days, hours. You can have a raw ability, but if you don't hone it, it won't get sharpened. It's just like you can have a raw ability to sing, but if you don't sharpen it, it really doesn't mean anything. No, Daniela's right here. I'm talking to her. She's the one right here. So, you see what I mean, Daniela? You just got to practice and then you got to trust it. Stop looking for the magic button for it to all perfectly makes sense. It's something I think people, I know movies and everything has to depict this as like, whoa. I mean, some people have a much stronger ability than others to start with, for sure. Um, but you still have to practice, okay? So it will change. I remember when I had a very strong ability, yes, in the beginning, but I remember I would see sometimes I wanted to get to a place where I was really fast at it and people who could just do it on spot. And I did not start off like that at all. I used to take for a long time for me to get to that place and to get the things. And I would do only hour readings. I could never imagine I was going to do this, right? Like this right here. I would only do hours. I would never do anything below an hour. And then it changed and evolved. The more I practiced, the more I honed it, the more I sharpened it, and the more confirmed it. Um, I couldn't believe that. I was like, oh, I guess I could do like a half hour. Then I remember, oh my God, I guess I can do 15 minutes. And it got faster and it got sharper. And, that's why it's a very hard path because if you're not willing to dedicate yourself to honing it, you got to make sure it's what you want. Everybody wants to do it. So it's okay. I realized too late, my bad. Okay. Well, thank you everyone. I guess nobody else is getting on the list tonight. So this was like a chill night and we got some like deep questions. But remember, I have like a whole book on this, peering into the narrow room. I have tons and tons and tons of videos on this on YouTube on all these subjects. And I have a little podcast where I have like, and you should listen to that Bill Litson podcast because I approached him because his video went viral on YouTube. His near death experience was the most real near death experience I have ever heard. I didn't really tend to believe most people's because they all kind of have the same description, which not saying they're not lying, it's just his seemed like the most to what I've seen. And it was just so amazing and then I met him in person. Matter of fact, I even texted him today to see how he's doing. So go listen to that if you want. And you can actually see his YouTube interview with, I think it's something shaman is the guy's name. Something shaman is probably the coolest. He's done a lot of interviews, but I really think this one was done the best if you want to see his whole story. That one was really good. Yes, his name is Bill Letson. Here, I'll type it in. And he was on my podcast and he's been on a lot of things. Super, super awesome. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a happy holiday as a gift from me to you. I posted on my Instagram his NDE made me cry. Yeah, it he is really this person. Like I met him in person. He is really, and I'll tell you one thing you were asking about if people you were asking if people get more connected to death and the NDEs, but well, I'll tell you what I have found. It's not that. People who have NDEs have a very hard time being in this world because once they've seen that world, they have a hard time being here. And me and him talked a lot about that. Not really for himself, but meeting other people. They have a hard time functioning here because once they've seen home, it's harder. And I relate because I've seen home a million times. So that's more what happens. You do open some piece of you up, and some people it's different. It's not the same for everyone, but you go through a radical, some people just kind of they wake up, and that's really the light. Is the light goes on and you are able to see a realm that you were not able to see before. That's really the light at the end of the tunnel. You see what I mean? The tunnel is our own like tunnel vision, and then and you see all around. And you're like, oh my gosh, this has been here this whole time. So that's really what people have a hard time with. Yeah, check that episode out. Check out his interview on YouTube. I think you guys will love it. Remember, whenever you're thinking of the other side and all these things, it's not that complicated. Compare it to our technology. Compare it to if we were to go back 100 years from now, from today, and show them how I'm doing this right now, that I'm reaching out to all of you. Or if I was watching a video, right, of me sitting next to somebody, someone was sitting next to me, and I said, Here, I'm sitting next to you, and we're watching a video of me 100 years ago. And they're like, well, how are you sitting here and I'm watching you there? How are you in two places at once? And that's how that other realm is able to be in more than one place because there's an extension of their energy, right? I'm existing in multiple places at once, but my but I'm still solidly me. I've just put pieces of myself out. And so the dead can kind of be doing, throwing a text out to you, throwing an email out to you, trying to ring your phone, and they're doing all kinds of things they're not just sitting there staring at you. They're not that obsessed with us as people think. So I hope that answered your questions, and I have tons of stuff out there that I hope will answer your questions more. How the other side actually works, kind of compare it more to sci-fi and science than it is mystical. And it's not that complicated. You don't have to complicate it. When you're going through the holidays and you miss people and things like this who have passed, understand that they're kind of like having their viewing party, uh, but like in VR. You know what I mean? Almost like they are a hologram in your space doing the shit with you. Okay, thank you everybody. As a thank you from me to you for all the support and love to the work I do. I gave everybody 40% off of my readings with the code special. And those of you on my Patreon, you know what's up. I gave you a little extra, and I have videos up for you. I put some videos up about how to deal with energy climate, how to deal with your family's energy if you're having to do the family thing for the holidays, a little meditation and things like this. Thank you guys. Happy holidays, happy Yule to people who are happy Yule, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, and all of it. Thank you, everyone. And I will probably be back here. I'm not sure if I'll be back on here this week. Um, Probably not. I'll see. But I get a feeling everybody's like going off to the races. But I might pop on. You might see me. I might pop and just say hello a little bit, check on you, make sure you guys are surviving. If any of you are having to do the family thing, and check out my podcast. I think you'll like the latest one with Marcy. Go check her out. From a Funny Feeling podcast. Thank you all. Thank you so much. You guys made me smile tonight. And I tried to, I hope I answered some of your questions. And, you know, take care of yourself. Okay. Follow yourself. Follow no one. Listen to your inner voice. And I'll see you soon. Oh, and I post everything on Instagram. So if I'm coming around, you'll see me there. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you. And some Anahit. Anahit. Oh, and I think I am going to do the remote viewing one. I'm in the mood for remote viewing class. So after the holidays, we will reconvene. Happy holidays to you too, Angelique. Thank you, everyone. You guys are awesome. Thank you. See you soon.